What's up, everybody? Ben here with the Spirit of Running, and today we're talking about the New Balance SC Trainer V2. Just to get the technical specs out of the way, this shoe weighs in at 10 ounces and has a 6mm heel to toe drop. Moving through the shoe from bottom to top, looking at the bottom, we have a fairly thin layer of rubber separating the Fuelcell foam from the streets. You can see right here where I've got a little bit of wear here on the outside of mine. But overall, I think that the rubber that's on here is still pretty durable and provides a really nice traction. The rubber is thick enough that I think you're going to get full range on the shoe without wearing down that rubber and kind of breaking down the Fuelcell foam in the midsole. I don't think that that's going to be an issue for anybody. When you look at the original V1, we had that thick cutout for the energy arc. They've continued that design into V2. Sorry if you can hear Spirit over here. I'm not sure what she's found. But anyway, you can see that energy arc has continued. One thing that they did in V1 that I was a little confused about, and they've done it again in V2, so I don't know if this has just become part of the design, but they've added like a little piece of rubber here on the carbon, that carbon plate. So I think that there's just concern that like if you're really putting a lot of force in there, that the plate would bottom out and kind of get some kickback. And this is also kind of the thinnest point between the plate and the fuel cell and the road. So I think that there is that just kind of protection to, that if there's a rock or anything that, you might step on, avoid any kind of kick out or slipping from that rock. Big shout out to the Believe in the Run folks for coining the phrase Super Trainer. The SC Trainer V2 and the V1, I think, definitely fall into that category of Super Trainer, in that this is definitely a shoe that you can run in every day. You get that extra pop and kind of that extra, fun when you're running, but you could also race in it if you wanted to. I love the Fuelcell foam. I think it's some of the most exciting foam on the market right now. It's to me, it just feels good. There are different versions of it, just like there's different versions of P-backs, different versions of, if you're familiar with New Balance, the fresh foam. They'll say, like everything is a fresh foam something, but it's all those foams feel different. And the Fuelcell in this shoe feels different to me than the Fuelcell in the V1, and it feels different than the Fuelcell in the Rebel, but I do really like the feel of this shoe overall. Moving into the upper, I actually liked the upper of the V1 a little more, but I think I'm in the minority on that one. Does have a much more traditional upper here in the V2. A little less sockish, and a little more like a traditional shoe feel. I do like the structure that's here in the heel collar. We do have a gusseted tongue, so there's not any slipping around on that. So no need to stop and readjust the shoe because the tongue is slid over to the side of the foot. Moving a little further into just the overall performance of the shoe. Again, I'm a bigger guy, and so for me, this is, I think, a really good race shoe option. Where I struggle with the V2 over the V1 is that as a bigger guy, I do a lot of run walking. The V1, while it had like a little bit of instability, when I stopped to walk, the rocker just felt a little more aggressive, and so I didn't notice the instability in the heel as much as I do in the V2. So I think that if you're doing a lot of run walking, on your long run, maybe don't use this shoe for the long run, but save it for, more like the shorter recovery runs where we want something plush and we want something that's going to help the recovery go faster. With the new shape, I did feel like it was more in line with that Super Trainer idea of, I do feel like I can pick up the speed in this shoe more than I could in the V1. The V1 was very much a cruising shoe, and I feel like the V2 is a little more versatile. All in all, I think that this is a really fantastic shoe, and I think that it's an excellent choice to work into the rotation because of the changes they made. You know, it is kind of in that super trainer category, so it's a shoe that you can run easy in. I think it's a shoe that you can pick up the pace in and feel that little extra pop and that extra performance. Because it is a slightly heavier shoe, I think that this is probably not going to be like the race day shoe choice for a lot of people. But again, that's all variable independent, so it's still, you know, it's only 10 ounces. It still feels light underfoot. Yeah, so if the shoe works for you, like race in it, go for it. The reason why I don't recommend this for the gym or for daily living goes back to some of that heel instability that I talked about in just like walking in it. I think that, you know, at the price point that we're looking at, and you know, kind of the function of the shoe and how the shoe is built to perform, definitely not made for just, you know, standing in one place lifting heavy things. This is definitely designed to be a very specific tool for a very specific job. If you have any questions, please drop those in the comments section. Please be sure and hit the like and subscribe button. It helps other people find the channel, and it helps me out, and I'll see you out there. Thanks.